Today was such an exciting day. I've got two things to bring to you today, and those things are a little bit of the price action on BitDigital and Bitfarms, as well as IWM or the Russell 2000. I'd like to bring that up again today. Let's get right into it. So first of all, BitDigital was up 9.65% today, and after hours they are down just 1 penny. We are starting to break out of this handle I had drawn down here that started on March 21st. We are currently just slightly above it. If we open above that tomorrow, I'm looking for Bitfarms to go after that 265 range, and if it gets above 265 and can hold above 265, you better believe that $3 is coming in for Bitfarms sooner than later if it can manage to do that. It looks like our megaphone line down here, this green descending, turned out to be the support for this one, and I do think that we'll probably see it open up a little bit tomorrow, even though it was up 9% today. There was a lot of momentum in this move today. We are positive. We're bullish on the RSI. We're not oversold at all there. We're not showing top signals on the VIX fix. This could keep going a little bit more, potentially, especially given the formation coming before it. So that was exciting. And then over on the Bitfarms chart, we had a day that wasn't so bad, especially considering the bad FUD news we got earlier this week with the CEO announcing that they will be stepping down. Today, we were actually down just 0.92% on the day. Today, we went all the way down to $2.05, where we got a wick up from there back up to 216. We ended the day at 216, and we are in post up at 218. I'm viewing that as bullish, considering that a CEO suddenly stepping down is very, very bad news, especially during the current cycle, like point in the cycle that we were in right now. That was very bearish news. The fact that we are holding up as well as we are and that we did not dip below $2 is actually pretty optimistic in my view. Of course, this is not financial advice nor a suggestion to buy, sell, or hold any assets whatsoever. Do your own research, come to your own conclusions about these assets and others. But in my mind, this is positive. This is bullish, especially coming off of that minus 4.8% day yesterday on Bitfarms and getting just a little bit further down today with a big wick on the bottom. I wouldn't be surprised if we opened up tomorrow positive and went into next week getting positive and started to claw back some of what we lost in this downturn that started on March 21st on Bitfarms. The last thing I wanted to bring up today is the Russell 2000. I know you come here for the Bitcoin miner charts and a few other things, including some crypto, but I've got to talk about the Russell 2000. This is a different kind of play. This is an indexed product here that we're looking at. I mean, it's the ETF version of that indexed product, but like I mentioned, this down here, what we're looking at right now, starting all the way back on March 2022, is a Wyckoff Bottom type of pattern down here, which means once this pattern is done and defeated, on the way up here, we are looking at coming back to all-time highs. And why am I looking at the Russell versus the S&P 500? And that is simply because the Russell has continued to be beaten down while the S&P 500 has been reaching new all-time highs. I don't want to chase a horse that's already been running and is exhausted. I am looking at the one that's been beaten down, the one that has been left behind, the one that has yet to make new all-time highs and is looking poised to try to do so. In fact, I was playing this ticker all day today to much success. And I do think that, honestly, the candle that we're making right now for this week, if we can close above this green line at 210.48 or 210.50, if we can close the week above that, I think our future is bright going into the week after this on the IWM or the Russell 2000. I'm thinking that we're seeing we are seeing the opposite of what happened back here in 2022, where we had that bear flag and that big drop. I think what we're seeing here is potentially a bull flag sort of area that will lead us back to these highs. Probably, I am targeting around 215 to 220. And if it can conquer 224, I'm looking at it running for all-time highs at 245. That's what I'm looking at for the Russell 2000. Now, the Russell 2000 is known for false breakouts. It's pretty good at that. There's a lot of small cap stocks in here, but they are going to do exceptionally well for at least a short period of time once the Fed starts cutting rates. And what has the Fed been talking about lately? Cutting rates. That is going to be exceptionally good for IWM and for the Russell 2000. They are very rate sensitive since a lot of these stocks are small and dependent on debt to continue functioning because a lot of them are not profitable. And if you watch Fund Strat manager Tom Lee, he talks a lot about the Russell this year as something that he is eyeing as a potential runner compared to other indexes because it has been left behind, because it is beaten down, and because those rates will be coming down, which will be opening up room for these companies to start loading up on debt and for risk on sort of trading to start taking place once more. Now, there probably will be some sort of recession once the rates get cut, depending on how fast they get cut. But of course, there first is usually the rush of prices surging upward right after, immediately after the cut, because people have been oppressed for so long that that's sort of a breath of fresh air, even if it may be short-lived. So we'll see. But currently, the IWM or the Russell 2000 is looking like it is poised to go up. Let's move down to the daily, and I'd like to turn on the SMA. So let's turn this on and we can see right here. All right. We went from a bottom here. We're making higher highs and higher lows, starting back here on January 17th. And then we came to a high of nearly 200 on January 29th, and then a low above the previous low at 187. We came down only to 190, and then we went higher to 204.37, and then we only came down to 198, and then we went up to 210, and our new low came to 199. These are stairs. We're stair-stepping up on the Russell 2000. If we can take out this high at 210 in the next day or two, we are looking at making a new higher high, which means we can expect a new higher low above 199.72 coming in for the next cycle down. I am also particularly interested and particularly excited about this little formation right here that started on March 21st, came to a bottom on March 25th, and then today we got this big bullish candle. If we get a gap up tomorrow, I'm going to be feeling very bullish about the Russell 2000 going forward. The fact that we came up above the 5 and the 15, came back, stopped at the 15, and kept going up from there, that is showing that this is being used as a springboard to send us up higher. You can see we've done this before. Back here on February 5th, we were below the 5 and the 15. And in one day, we went up above both, gapped up again, came back down, tested them, and then bounced off them again. And then a third time came down, tested the 15, bounced off of that again. And what are we doing right now? Starting that whole process all over again of bouncing off the 15 and then the 5 afterwards. So let's keep an eye out on that. If we get an open above 1045, I'm looking for higher action tomorrow. If it closes the week out tomorrow, remember this week is a short week. If it closes out the week tomorrow above 410 or 210 or 50, I'm going to be very bullish about the next week coming in, looking for it to make a higher low somewhere above $200 and then continue on even higher, potentially up to that 215 to 220 level in the coming weeks. So that is something that I have got on my radar. You should have on your radar as well. Take a look at it, review it, see if it makes sense for you. And of course, this is not financial advice nor a suggestion to buy, sell, or hold any assets whatsoever. That's all I wanted to bring to you today. It was a bit of a time-sensitive thing. And with that said, please like, comment, and subscribe, and have a profitable day.